Hello everyone, welcome back to the mesostudy.com, and in this session we are going to discuss about the chapter that is body fluid and the circulation and discuss the chapter with the important question one by one. Let's start the session and discuss the important aspect from the question. Let's move on to the first question from body fluid and the circulation, that is the ratio of WBC to RBC in blood is. When we have to calculate about the ratio of WBC to RBC, we all know that WBC is white blood cell and RBC is red blood cell present in the blood. Here are four options. Option A is 1:1000, B is 1000:1, C is 1:600, D is 600:1. When we discuss about and for solving that question, the number of WBC that is present near the 5000 per cubic mm of blood in human. When we know about the WBC, we all know that it is present in the form that is a 5000 per cubic mm of blood, while the number of RBCs that is present about 5 million, or we can say 50 lakhs in per cubic mm of blood. So when we calculate the ratio of WBC to RBC, we can easily calculate by calculating their number or putting their values. So it is about 5000 to the 50 lakh, that is equal to 1/1000. So its ratio is 1:1000 or 1:1000. That is the ratio for WBC. That is their ratio for WBC ratio RBC. So according to the discussion, the right answer for the question is option A. Option A is the right one in this case. Let's mark the right one in the options, that is option A. 1:1000 is the right one in this case. Let's discuss the next question from body fluids and circulation. The next question is, during the process of blood coagulation, vitamin K help in option A, the formation of prothrombin, option B, the conversion of fibrinogen to fibrin, option C, the formation of thromboplastin, option D, the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. For getting the solution of the question, we all know that vitamin K is also known as a phyloquinone, and it is necessary for vitamin K is necessary for the formation of prothrombin. Next, it is helpful act as a coagulation factors in liver, present in liver. When there is not enough amount of vitamin K, or we can say the vitamin K level is less, then what will happen? Then we see our blood take longer time for blood will take longer time for clot. Clot is what? The process of clotting, for which the individuals with the B and O blood groups, with the O and B blood groups, suffers a lot. O and B blood groups suffer a lot. So according to the discussion, the right answer for the question is option A. Let's mark the right one in the option. So our question is, during the process of blood coagulation, vitamin K helps in, as our discussion we conclude that it helps in the formation of prothrombin, as we can write here as well, and also act as a coagulation factor in the liver. Let's discuss the next question from blood fluids, body fluids in the circulation. Next is, a red blood cell was kept in a solution for a few minutes. Where it got burst, the solution taken was hypertonic, concentrated sugar solution, C isotonic, D hypertonic. For solving the question, we all know that a solution having low osmotic concentration as compared to, when we compare their osmotic concentration to the another solution, this kind of solution is known as a hypotonic solution, also known as a hypotonic solution. Whereas the another case where a solution having higher osmotic concentration as compared to the, when it compared to the another solution, such kind of solution is known as a hypertonic solution. So till now we discussed the two kinds of a solution. First is a solution that is known as a hypertonic. In the hypertonic solution, a solution in which or possess the low osmotic concentration when as compared to the another solution, such kind of solution is known as a hypotonic solution. The next category is a hypertonic, where a solution possesses the higher osmotic concentration when it is compared to the another solution, and such type of solution is known as a hypertonic solution. So the third condition, when the two solution with same osmotic concentration or we can say the same pressure is there, such type of solution is named as a isotonic solution. Such type of solution is named as a isotonic solution. So till now we discussed the three type of solution: hypertonic, and the isotonic. When we put or face the different condition, when we put any kind of a molecule, or we can say the stuff or any kind of grains or any kind of to calculate the what they possess. For example, when we put any kind of a raisin in out of 3 solutions, what will happen? A cell will gains water if they put in the hypotonic solution. So what will happen in the first solution? When we put any kind of a raisin, the cell wall present of the raisins generally gain water and they swell up. Hypotonic solution or the pure water solution. What will happen in the another 2 case? When there is a hypotonic, as we discussed, the cell generally allow the movement or gains water, due to which swelling of cell protoplast that generally exerts the pressure, pressure on the surrounding cell membrane, exert pressure on the surrounding cell membrane or wall present around that. That kind of pressure is known as Turgor pressure. That kind of pressure is known as a Turgor pressure, and other name for that is the hydrostatic pressure. And when there is a high Turgor pressure, when there is a condition, there is a high Turgor pressure, that generally cause bursting, especially in the case of erythrocytes. Erythrocytes is another name for RBC, as we all know that, and that's generally leave behind the cell ghost. So this is all about the explanation about the solution and the various mediums, including hypertonic, and the isotonic. So for the discussion, we conclude that the right answer for the question is option A. Let's mark the right one in this case. The right one is the option A, that is the hypotonic, because in question itself ask about the red blood cell. As we all know and discuss about red blood cell, that is also written as a RBC, is also known as a erythrocytes. So they get burst out, or we can say bursting, when they inhale, or we can say the gaining of extra water, and that is the condition that possessed by the peculiar type of a solution that is known as a hypotonic solution. So option A is the right one in this case. Let's discuss the next question from the body fluid and the circulation. The next question is, larger and fragile RBC with less hemoglobin is due to the deficiency of option A, Castle intrinsic factor, option B, factor 3, option C, Hageman factor, option D, cephalin. So when we discuss about, first we discuss about the Castle's intrinsic factor. Actually, these factor includes the glycoprotein that are produced by the parietal cell of parietal cell of stomach. Parietal cell of stomach, and these are necessary for absorption of vitamin B12. Absorption of vitamin B12 on or later on in the small intestine. So what we discussed so far, Castle intrinsic factor, in which there is a focus for the glycoprotein that are produced by the parietal cell of the stomach that help in the absorption of vitamin B12 in the small intestine. So in the absence of, then there is another condition, when there is an absence of Castle's intrinsic factor, that leads to the development of, or due to the deficiency of Castle intrinsic factor, there is a development of pernicious anemia. There is a condition occur, that is a pernicious anemia, due to which, what is the various symptoms of this pernicious anemia? This is characterized by presence of blood of large blood kind, including large, immature and nucleated cells that are forerunners of red blood cells. Forerunners of red blood cells. So what we discussed so far, we conclude that the answer for the following question is again option A. As in the previous question, we see that option A is the right one. So for about the discussion, let's mark the right one in the option, that is option A, that is Castle intrinsic factor that help, or we can say cause, the large and fragile includes immature and nucleated cells with less hemoglobin due to the deficiency of Castle intrinsic factor. These factors are secreted by the parietal cell of the stomach, and that is very important in vitamin B12 absorption in our small intestine. So this is all about the question 4 of body fluid and the circulation. Let's discuss the next question from the same chapter. Next one is, blood does not clot inside blood vessels due to the presence of option A heparin, B fibrinogen, C vitamin K, D thrombin. When we discuss about the blood does not clot in blood vessels, that is because of presence of heparin. Now heparin is what? Heparin is a glycosaminoglycan, also known as or subcategory of mucopolysaccharides. As we all know, poly means many, saccharides is the sugar unit, and glucosaminoglycan and mucopolysaccharides, that heparin is also possess the anticoagulant properties that generally occur, heparin is generally occur in vertebrate tissues, These are specially, for example, heparin are specially present in the lungs and blood vessels, all especially present in lungs and blood vessels. So because of the presence of heparin, blood does not coagulate in the lungs and the blood vessels. So according to the discussion, the right answer for the question is option A. Let's mark the right one. Blood does not coagulate or clot inside the blood vessels due to the presence of heparin. Heparin is what? A mucopolysaccharides that possess the anti means against the coagulant or the clot properties. So by the presence of heparin, the blood does not clot in the blood vessels and the lungs. This is all about the question. Let's discuss the last question from the same section, that is bicuspid wall allows blood from option A, right auricle to left ventricle, B, right auricle to the right ventricle, C, right auricle to left ventricle, and D, post caval to heart. We also known as a bicuspid wall, also known as a mitral valve. Mitral wall, that bicuspid and mitral allows blood from, that generally allow the movement of blood from left auricle to left ventricle. Left auricle to left ventricle. When the left auricle start contraction, when the left auricle starts contraction, the bicuspid wall of the auriculoventricle for the auriculoventricular aperture are forced to open. These aperture are forced to open towards the ventricle again from the same side, that is the left side of ventricle, thus forcing the, due to this movement, thus forcing the oxygenated blood from left auricle to left ventricle. Left auricle to left ventricle. So there is a presence of a common wall between the bicuspid, named as a bicuspid, present between the left auricle and the left ventricle, that generally prevents the, these walls actually prevent the backflow of blood through left ventricle to the left auricle. So these are backflow and prevention by the presence of bicuspid wall. Due to the presence of bicuspid wall. So according to the discussion, the right answer for the question is option C. Option C is the right one. Let's mark the right one in this case. That is left auricle to left ventricle. Bicuspid wall allows blood movement from left auricle and left ventricle, and it also prevents it from the backflow from left ventricle to the left auricle. So this is all about the question and your important question from the chapter, that is body fluid and the circulation. Hope student you like the lecture. For such more sessions, stay tuned with the mesostudy.com. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay home. Thank you very much.